This was a mega project in which more than 150 countries took part. It promised new airports, motorways, and seaports. It showed dreams of turning countries into the next Dubai or Singapore. But today, in many of these countries, these mega projects are left unfinished, and dreams are completely broken. Some countries are buried under heavy debt, while others look like abandoned ruins. This was China's biggest global mega project, called the Belt and Road Initiative. There was a time when people called it the project of the century, but today it is called a geopolitical disaster. The biggest loss was suffered by poor countries who were shown beautiful dreams. So what really happened that people are now questioning a superpower like China? Welcome once again to Think It. In 2013, when China's President Xi Jinping announced the Belt and Road Initiative, also known as BRI, it was called the biggest plan of the century. The goal was to create a modern Silk Road using railways, highways, and ports to connect Asia, Africa, and Europe. China said its mission was to help poor countries develop and to present itself as a global leader. This vision shocked the world. More than 140 countries showed interest, and many poor nations quickly started taking loans from China. Very soon, China invested around $1.2 trillion into this project. But this money was given as loans to countries that Western banks and the IMF had already refused to lend to because they were too risky. Slowly, the real face of BRI started to appear. This was not just an infrastructure project. It was also a geopolitical and economic strategy. China had built massive industrial capacity. Every year, millions of engineers were graduating, but China could not provide enough jobs at home. So China decided to export its workforce and influence. The plan was simple: give loans to poor countries, use Chinese companies and workers for the projects, and gain political power in return. The biggest problem with BRI is called debt trap diplomacy. This means giving so many loans that countries cannot repay them, and then forcing them to hand over land or important infrastructure. The biggest example is Sri Lanka. Sri Lankan leaders were shown dreams that if they built a new port in the Indian Ocean, they could become a regional trade hub like Dubai.
We in Sri Lanka are stepping into a new era of peace, stability.
But Sri Lanka already had the Colombo port, which was working fine. China convinced Sri Lanka to build a new deep-sea port on a busy shipping route and named it Hambantota Port. Sri Lanka took a $1.3 billion loan from China. China added conditions. Only Chinese companies would build the port. Interest was low, but if the loan was not repaid, China could take control. The port was built, but it never worked properly. Studies showed that the port was not even needed. Only 30 to 40 ships stopped there in an entire year. Sri Lanka could not repay the loan. In 2017, Sri Lanka was forced to give the port to a Chinese company for 99 years. All revenue now goes to China, and Sri Lanka lost part of its sovereignty. Sri Lanka was not alone. Zambia, a small African country dependent on copper exports, also fell into this trap. Its leaders wanted to modernize the economy and started projects with Chinese loans. They believed Chinese loans were easier than IMF or Western loans, but ignored the hidden conditions. By 2020, 43% of Zambia's total debt was owed to China. When COVID-19 hit, trade collapsed, copper prices fell, and Zambia defaulted. Many BRI projects became white elephant projects, big, expensive, but useless. Take Montenegro, a small European country. In 2014, it took a $1 billion loan from China to build a highway. Due to bad planning, only 41 kilometers of road was built, leading nowhere. The money ran out, and the country's economy was badly shaken. Today, Montenegro's debt is over 80% of its GDP, and it needs IMF and EU help. Sri Lanka also built an airport near Hambantota Port, costing $200 million, again using Chinese loans. No airlines showed interest, no passengers came. Today it is called the world's emptiest airport. Sometimes even animals walk on the runway. In South America, Ecuador built the Coca-Codo-Sinclair Dam with China for $2.6 billion. Chinese contractors ignored quality standards, and corruption was later exposed. Today, the dam has over 17,000 cracks and risks collapse, an economic, human, and environmental disaster. Then came Pakistan. The China-Pakistan Economic Corridor, CPEC, was worth $60 billion. Pakistan expected electricity, jobs, and growth, but many projects were delayed or failed. In Gwadar, people protested for water, electricity, and jobs. Promises were not fulfilled, and debt kept increasing. Today, Gwadar Port is controlled by China. China takes 91% of the revenue, while Pakistan gets only 9%.